Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If you've ever watched a rocket launch, chances are you've seen that iconic image, a fiery plume climbing into the sky over a vast ocean, with palm trees silhouetted against the dawn. That legendary view almost always comes from one place, Florida. But have you ever wondered why? Why did this sunny, swampy peninsula become humanity's primary launch pad to the stars? It's not just about the beaches and theme parks. Florida's connection to space is a story of geography, history, and incredible ambition. Today, we're diving deep into the powerful bond between the Sunshine State and NASA. So, let's rewind the clock. The space race is on, and the United States needs a place to safely and efficiently launch rockets. They looked at a map and realized Florida had a few major advantages. The most important one, physics. The Earth spins fastest at the equator. By launching eastward from a location close to the equator, like Florida, a rocket gets a natural speed boost from the Earth's rotation. It's like getting a running start for a long jump. This free push saves an enormous amount of fuel, which means we can carry heavier payloads like satellites, telescopes, or even astronauts into orbit. While not exactly on the equator, Florida's southern position gives it a significant advantage over most other places in the US. But there's another crucial factor: safety. Rockets, especially in the early days, were experimental. Things could and did go wrong. You don't want a malfunctioning rocket to fall on a populated area. Launching eastward from Florida's Atlantic coast means that any debris from a launch failure would fall harmlessly into the ocean. This vast, empty expanse of water created a natural safety corridor, making the area around Cape Canaveral the perfect, low-risk location. This combination of a rotational boost and a safe downrange area was the one-two punch that put Florida on the space map. Before NASA was even officially formed in 1958, the military was already using Cape Canaveral for missile testing in the early 1950s. The groundwork was already laid. When President John F. Kennedy famously declared in 1961 that America would land a man on the moon before the end of the decade, the nation needed a dedicated spaceport to make it happen. NASA acquired a massive tract of land next to the existing military facilities on Cape Canaveral. This new site, located on Merritt Island, would become the legendary Kennedy Space Center, or KSC. Kennedy Space Center isn't just a launch pad, it's an entire city dedicated to space exploration. It's home to the iconic Vehicle Assembly Building, or VAB. This building is so colossal, it has its own weather systems inside. It's tall enough to assemble the gigantic Saturn V Moon rockets vertically. Imagine the sheer scale of that operation. From the VAB, these massive rockets were transported on equally massive crawler transporters to the launch pads, like Launch Complex 39A, the historic site where all the Apollo moon missions and many space shuttle missions began their journey. The Apollo program truly cemented Florida's identity as the Space Coast. The whole world watched as Apollo 11 lifted off from KSC in 1969, carrying Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins toward the moon. This single event transformed the region. Small coastal towns like Titusville and Cocoa Beach exploded with new residents, engineers, technicians, and scientists who flocked to Florida to be part of this incredible human endeavor. The local culture became intertwined with the pulse of the space program. The economy boomed, schools emphasized science and math, and the roar of a rocket became the sound of progress. After Apollo, the space shuttle era began, running from 1981 to 2011. For 30 years, Kennedy Space Center was the home base for this fleet of reusable space planes. The shuttle launched like a rocket and landed like a glider, often right back at the shuttle landing facility at KSC. These missions deployed iconic scientific instruments like the Hubble Space Telescope and were instrumental in building the International Space Station. Each launch and landing was a major event, drawing crowds from all over the world to the Space Coast to witness history. The shuttle program kept Florida at the forefront of human spaceflight for a generation. When the shuttle program ended in 2011, some worried it was the end of an era for the Space Coast. But it was actually the dawn of a new one. NASA shifted its strategy, partnering with private companies to foster a new commercial space industry. Kennedy Space Center transformed from an exclusive government facility into a multi-user spaceport. Companies like SpaceX and Blue Origin moved in, leasing and refurbishing the historic launch pads. United Launch Alliance, a joint venture of Boeing and Lockheed Martin, also continued its critical launches of national security and scientific payloads. Today, the Space Coast is more vibrant and busier than ever. SpaceX, led by Elon Musk, now regularly launches its Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy rockets from the same pads that once hosted Apollo and the Space Shuttle. They've pioneered reusable rocket technology, with first-stage boosters returning for spectacular landings back at Cape Canaveral. This has dramatically lowered the cost of access to space and increased the frequency of launches. Florida's sky is now constantly streaked with the light of rockets heading to orbit, carrying everything from Starlink internet satellites to astronauts on their way to the International Space Station aboard the Crew Dragon capsule. And it's not just about launching things into orbit. Kennedy Space Center remains a hub of innovation for NASA's own deep space ambitions. The Artemis program, NASA's plan to return humans to the moon and eventually go to Mars, is centered right here. The Powerful Space Launch System, or SLS rocket, the most powerful rocket ever built, launched from KSC for its first uncrewed test flight. Artemis I, the Orion spacecraft, designed to carry astronauts on these long-duration missions, is also processed and prepared here. Florida is, once again, the starting point for humanity's next great leap into the cosmos. So, the next time you see a launch from Florida, remember it's more than just a rocket. It's the culmination of decades of history, a stroke of geographic genius, and a testament to human ingenuity. From the first tentative missile tests to the grand voyages of Apollo, the workhorse era of the space shuttle, and now the dynamic commercial space race and the Artemis missions, Florida has been our constant gateway to the heavens. It's a legacy written in fire and ambition, forever connecting the Sunshine State to the stars. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this journey to the Space Coast, please hit that like button and consider subscribing for more stories about science and exploration. Let me know in the comments what your favorite NASA mission is. Until next time, keep looking up.